Hope you're doing well today. Welcome back to my channel. Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful day here, and I really should be spring cleaning, but since it's a little bit of chill in the air and it's about to get really warm here, I figured it's a perfect day to bake. And I've been wanting to make this recipe for a long time, and I never tried it yet, but it's out of this book. I've shown you guys this before. I've done a couple of videos on a couple of recipes in here, but it's a coconut layer cake. And I debated on whether I wanted to do a layer cake or a sheet cake. I'm out of practice for layer cakes. I was really into making layer cakes and decorating a few years ago, and then I got really into cooking and then bread. And anyway, you know how your interests change all the time, but I'm still interested in baking. So today I'm going to challenge myself and go ahead and do the layer cake. I want it to be for Easter, and the recipe calls for 2 ingredients that I've been wanting to try in a coconut cake. It's coconut cream and buttermilk. So I'm very excited to try it. I hope it's delicious, and I'll let you know for sure. But I'm trying to start early. I usually start my videos too late, and a layer cake's going to take a few hours. So I have all my ingredients measured out, and I'll list the recipe. Now the other thing I want to talk about is the frosting. Now it's going to be delicious, and I hope you enjoy the video. And let's get started baking. I did. Now this recipe doesn't call for toasted coconut. I made a coconut cake about 3 or 4 years ago, and it had toasted coconut, but I lost the recipe, and that was a delicious recipe. But I just toasted it. It's really crispy, and so I think I might mix the, I don't know if I want a white cake or toasted coconut, but we're going to go for flavor and a little bit of pretty, but most of the ingredients get to room temperature, except I separated my eggs when they were cold. Actually, I had to do it twice. I messed up the first time. I might be a little nervous today, so just bear with me. I don't know why I get like that sometimes. It really drives me insane. But I'm going to have to show you. First, we're going to just get the dry ingredients out of the way. This is all-purpose flour, but this is 2 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, which is this one. And we need, he said, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt plus a pinch. So I'll put like a 1/2 teaspoon and like a 1/4 of a teaspoon. And then we need a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So that's our dry ingredients. Those are easy. And I'm just going to give it a good whisk. You want to make sure these ingredients are mixed very well. You don't want pockets of baking powder or baking soda. I don't know if you can see, but I have all my ingredients laid out here. There's not a lot. He doesn't call for coconut extract, and I might put a little bit. There's my eggs. There's my butter. There's my 2 9-inch pans that I sprayed with cooking oil spray with the flour, and I put parchment paper in them. And my oven's preheated to 350. And so the next thing we're going to do is beat our egg whites. And I'm just going to use my mixer, and then I'll put my egg whites in another bowl, and then you can just use the same bowl. You don't even have to wash it, and you can add your other ingredients together. David's a good cook. I love watching QVC with him on it. He's just a really cheerful guy. So here's my sugar. So let's get the egg whites. This is 4 large egg whites. Now when he beats the egg whites, he doesn't put any sugar in or anything. He just beats them. So let's put it to the mixer. And I wish I had a mixer that was a little more quiet than this one. And I hope they're not too cold. If I have to add a little cream of tartar or a little sugar, I might add some from the recipe. But he just says beat the egg whites. So I'm going to do that. And I'll just show you when they're done so you don't have to hear the egg whites. He said to beat them till they're stiff but not dry. So you don't want to overbeat them. So let's just put these in here for now. I think this is exactly what he's talking about. I'm very excited for this recipe. I've been looking at this recipe probably since I had the book, which is about a year ago. And I'm sorry if I sound a little low. My voice is a little low. I'm a little hoarse. Let's get them all out. And try not to get it on the counter like I just did. Alright, it might be a little too stiff. We'll see. You know what? I'm going to have to, you don't have to wash your bowl, but I'm going to have to rinse it out just because I have, a thing about it. I'll be right back. I'm using It calls for a 15-ounce can of cream of coconut, not coconut milk, but cream of coconut. And this is actually my first time ever using cream of coconut. So I opened it and put it in this bowl, and I didn't realize it was like this, but it's interesting. I can't wait to try it. So in the bowl I have 2 sticks of real butter. My favorite butter is, usually Land O'Lakes or Kerrygold, but this is real butter. So, and now we're going to put, this is going to be easy. Basically, we're just going to start mixing the sugar, butter, and cream of coconut. So I have, I don't know, I probably don't have to tell you what I'm using, but just in case you want to write it down, this is 1 3/4 cup of sugar. A lot of coconut cakes call for egg whites only. And I wanted to say, so I'm just going to beat all this together. This is interesting. It's messy too. I need my sponge. And it calls for a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And I'm going to use, I have this, I'm almost out of my favorite, and you wouldn't believe how much this is up to. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon. And I'm only going to add like a half teaspoon of the coconut extract. Let me show you what it looks like. Coconut extract. What I usually do is just like put a little half of a cap. A little bit more than half of a cap. About, can you see that? About that much. And you can leave that out. I love the coconut flavor. So now we're going to put our, let's see, we're going to go ahead and beat this until it's light and fluffy. So once this is light and fluffy, I'll be back, and then all we have left are our egg yolks, our buttermilk, and our flour combination. And that's it. Anyway, I just want to see, we'll let you see how that cream of coconut mixes up. Oh, that's lovely. So creamy. So I'll be right back. Egg yolks. You could also add the vanilla at this time, or it doesn't matter. What I was going to say about, yeah, a lot of coconut cakes call for egg whites, but I just prefer baking cakes with egg yolks. I like the richness it gives, and I don't mind the color. That's why I don't bake a lot of white cakes. I guess that's the reason. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I just like to use egg yolks. Okay, so then let's beat this in, and I'll just leave the camera on for this one. I need to move my mixer to a better spot when I do a video, I think. Oh yeah, and I was going to get an extra bowl. I just don't bake a lot of cakes where you beat the egg whites separately, but I still do like to bake them every once in a while, so I think I really want to get another bowl. Alright, now, how am I going to do this? Let me switch you guys over so I can add the flour and buttermilk. I've been wanting to bake so many recipes, but so we can only eat so much, but I've been in a baking mood. I love it. Sometimes I always get worried about the summer coming. I'm not going to be able to bake as much because it gets hot, but I still bake. I don't know what I'm worried about. Let's just do, he just says pour it in and then do the buttermilk. I'm just going to do part of the flour and then part of the buttermilk, and I'm using whole buttermilk. You can use low-fat buttermilk. I don't think it makes a difference. But I like my biscuits with whole buttermilk. But some people, the Cook's Illustrated book says it's actually better to use the low-fat. But I just buy whatever's available at my store. I'm anxious to see how thick this batter is. And it's definitely not white. But I think it's going to be rich, and I hope it's not too dense. It shouldn't be with the egg whites. Okay, let's put some more flour in. Oh, my paddle has to be out of my way. Let's just dump all this in. It's a pretty easy recipe, especially when you have all your ingredients prepared ahead of time. Let's go ahead and put the rest of the good old buttermilk. And you can make your own buttermilk by using a cup of milk and a tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar. There's also a buttermilk powder. I used to have buttermilk powder, but I I'm just by the buttermilk now because I'll use it often. I mean, to try and mix this up. Okay, let's make sure. Let me scrape the bowl. I put it on high a while ago, and it makes it go too far up the bowl. Okay, that was pretty thick. We got to do our egg whites. I forgot all about that. So let's move over again. I'm so sorry. Egg whites in. I'm going to give it one more stir. There was a drop of buttermilk left in my measuring cup, so I just poured it in. Okay. And I probably could have gone about a little bit less on my egg white beating. That doesn't even make sense. I can't even talk today. You want to fold this in. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I love this mixer bowl. I love the size of it. Yeah, I think I need to get me another bowl. And the problem is, where am I going to put it? I always find a place though. It's amazing. Now my cookbooks, I'm running out of. I need to go through them. Take a whole day and go through them, and really decide on which ones I want to keep. Or you just take the recipes out, not out of the books, I'm saying, but the magazines. Instead of keeping so many magazines, just take the recipes out that you want to try. I was doing that for a while, and then I got busy. It is lightening up. This batter looks... I love that vanilla bean paste. You can actually see it in your batter. You know what else? He doesn't call for any coconut inside the cake. And I was debating on whether I wanted to add some or not. I think I'm gonna not. I don't know if I'm gonna regret that, but anyway, it's an option for you if you wanted to add that. A lot of people make coconut pineapple fillings for their cakes. They do lemon. I just wanted kind of coconut. That's why I don't really know what frosting I'm going to use. Oh yeah, this lightened it up beautifully. Look at that. That's just pretty thick, but it lightened it up some. And these pans are my favorite pans. I wanted to show you. These are Nordic ware, and they're not expensive. But I want you to see the sides. You have 2-inch sides. It might be more than 2 inches. And this is what I used when you don't feel like butter and flouring it yourself. You can just use this and pray that it comes out. But it will. Oh, I see some egg white left. You want to make sure you get all of that mixed in. Okay. I'm just going to pour these. I'll just estimate. I'm not going to be... Make sure I mix this. I don't trust myself. Just pour some in here. And then I'll pour some in here. Pour some more in here. Looks pretty thick still. I think I got it pretty even. It'll be close enough. Alright, I'm going to spread this out. Try to even it out. The next time I try it, I might try to add the coconut inside the batter. But there's going to be a lot of coconut on the outside. That's one thing I'm nervous about, is putting the coconut on the outside. I want to hold, you have to hold the cake up or make it stick to the outside. I've done it before. I just haven't done it in a while. So I just want it to be pretty. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the oven. Tap the air bubbles out. We're going to put these in the oven at 350 for about 45 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 35 minutes and then I'll start checking it. So I also like this vanilla bean paste. It's a tiny bit cheaper than the Nielsen Massey, but it's good. And I used to get this from Walmart, and they switched it to these like 2-ounce bottles, and they want about $8 for it. Actually, I'm lying. Oh, actually, I'm lying. My mom weren't quick carrying it all together. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I like this video. I hope you don't mind. I like sharing, but I wanted to. I have this. I started this dough last night, and it got too late, so I put it in my refrigerator. But this is what I was working on last night. I've never tried these, and there's no filling inside. They are classic Long Johns, which to me the Long John has pastry cream on the inside. But anyway, I have some requests for this coconut cake, so that way I can get rid of it quickly. But I've been testing donut recipes a few times a year, and I haven't found the perfect one yet. And it might not be it might be that it is the perfect recipe. It might be my skills. But anyway, I'm gonna try these maybe today because I have to do something on that dough. But don't these look so neat? And it's a maple frosting and a chocolate frosting. But this is out of I bought this book a long time ago, and I was kind of disappointed in it, actually. I wanted to make the cover recipe, and I never did, because it's so rich. Anyway, it's just me and Peanut here today, and you guys, so the cake's in the oven. So, actually, I needed this out on the frosting. They basically took about 47 minutes, and I did the toothpick test and the finger test, and you can see they came away from the edge of the pan a little bit, so you can see that. See how they came a little bit, but you don't want to overcook them, so you got to watch them closely. So I'm gonna let these cool. It says 10 minutes. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I'll tell you what my thing is see how super moist it's gonna be. I can just tell. Sometimes when I flip it, I don't want it to stick to this rack, so I sprayed some cooking oil spray. So I'm gonna let these cool for a little while. And then I'll decide if I want to flip them out or not. I'll let them cool a little bit longer. Sometimes I go about 20 minutes. But anyway, I'll do a little bit longer. I had to run an errand. I completely forgot about it. But I took a knife and I just ran around the edges. And I was in a hurry. I hope I didn't tear it up too bad. But let's flip them out. Hopefully they come out. And it's really soft. I think it's going to be really, really good. I think it's a good recipe. So let's... Oh, look at that. A little bit stuck a little bit, but not bad. This is going to be a really tender cake. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to set them in the freezer because they're so soft. And I hope it doesn't stick to my rack. But anyway, I tasted the crumb. And it's so good. Okay. Well, they came out. I messed them up a little bit around the edges, but that's okay. We can cover that up with frosting. So I have to get Ella, and then I'm gonna make the frosting. Anyway, it'll be just a second for you, but I'll let you know when I realize I can't talk today. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do a light buttercream with a little cream cheese, soft little whipping cream, so it's not so sweet. But I want the perfect texture for the coconut to stick on it. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I'm back. We had to go to an appointment, so I'll put them in the freezer. They're easier to frost that way. I'll show you what they look like. But I tasted the cake and it's so good that I'm not gonna waste it. The perfectionist in me wanted to throw it all out and start over tomorrow. But I worked really hard on that recipe, and once it's covered, you won't be able to tell a difference. So right here, I have about 12 ounces of cream cheese, about a stick and a half of butter, and I've been studying recipes, and I found one in Food Network magazine. Now they use way more butter. I don't like to use that much butter in my cream cheese frosting, and I also like to add a little heavy whipping cream. And I can't get I always have trouble getting this. And my stuff is at room temperature. And I'm gonna put probably about 3 cups of powdered sugar. I kind of just make it up as I go, because I know the consistency I want and the texture. But we're gonna add some vanilla extract, and we're also gonna add a little coconut extract. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of each. I took my cakes out of the freezer so they soften up just a little bit. So I'll add a little bit of coconut. This is the coconut extract I found. It took me a while to find it, but I found it. You could use the paddle attachment or the whisk attachment. But I'm going to use my whisk attachment. And I like to also add a little heavy cream in my cream cheese frosting. I think it lightens it up. Takes away a little bit of the sweetness, but you don't want to add too much. But anyway, I'll just show you. Let's whip this up. I'm going to get it nice and fluffy. Oh, I used a block of cream cheese, and then I also used this one. I love this one, but it's kind of expensive, so I don't buy it all the time. Let me whip this up, and I'll be back. The cream cheese, and it was pretty soft, and the butter was probably about 65 degrees. You don't want it to be almost. I usually use about a cup of powdered sugar at a time, and I don't level it off or anything. I kind of just my container. It's hard to scoop it, and I'm gonna make a mess, I'm sure. So I'm gonna just put about 3 cups and almost 3 cups, and you kind of want to just taste it and see how sweet you want it. And I did make a little mess, not too bad. So I'm gonna mix this and see how thick it is, and we might add the heavy cream next. I'm gonna add about 1 more cup of powdered sugar. I tasted it, and it's really good right now. But I want to make sure I have enough frosting as well. And we're going to add probably about, and I like to use heavy whipping cream, probably about 2 tablespoons. I just love the way the heavy cream helps it get really smooth. And whip it up. It's about 3 minutes, but it's nice and fluffy. And it tastes just right for us. So I'm going to move this over, clean my whisk, and then we're going to, I'll show you the cake. I was really rough with this one. I need a big, I have a big spatula somewhere. Oh well, let me see if it's still frozen up. But you want to put and this is not as level as I wanted it to be, but I'm going to put it on the cake board, so hopefully I can hold it and then sprinkle the coconut on it. So this is the one that's a little rough looking. Well, they both are a little rough looking, but it's really good. So we're going to put some frosting on here. And I probably have more frosting than I need, but I'd rather have more than not enough. And you can frost it as thick as you like. So I'm not the best at decorating cake. I did make a coconut cake one time, and it was so pretty. So I'm gonna put some onto the edge, and that way it'll be easier to do the sides. And Ella's gonna come help me in a second. Let's put this one on top. See, I tasted the crumbs. See these crumbs? They're so good. They were kind of frozen though. And I love this cream cheese frosting like this. We iced the sides. It came out pretty well. And we're just going to sprinkle the coconut. And I decided to use the toasted coconut. The white coconut might be prettier, but the toasted coconut is going to taste better in my opinion.
It looks like an Easter nest.
And Ella's helping me. And I'm just going to hold it up and try to press it into the sides. I've done it before. It's just been so long ago. So we're just going around the sides. And I put the icing on a little bit thick to make sure the coconut sticks. And I use the cake board because you can lift the cake up if you need to. And I have my cake, what do you call that? Cake plate. I don't even know if the cake was going to fit on there, but that's okay. So anyway, we're just going to do this and we'll be right back. Hopefully we can cut it to taste it. I'm not sure, it's kind of frozen. We got the coconut. Now, we don't care for the jelly beans, so the only thing I could find at Walmart the other day was the Reese's Pieces eggs. And Ella's doing a great job decorating, don't you think? It's going to be so good. Anyway, the coconut, we used almost all of it. But we used almost all the icing as well. So it worked out really well. Here's the finished cake. Simple, I didn't give up. It's going to be just fine, I think. It looks so good. Ella has an eye for decorating. I like the toasted coconut as well. So now we're going to see if we can cut a slice. It should be soft enough now, and we're going to give it a taste test. Okay, well, it's still a little bit frozen, but we're just going to power through. I actually like frozen cake. Take a little bite, and it just...
Make sure on the cake again.
Okay. That is so delicious. I'm glad I waited for the right... I knew when I saw it would be the right recipe, but the buttermilk and the cream of coconut, it's really, really good. It's just so moist. Very moist. And I like the cream cheese with it. It's very good. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I was a little off today, but we made it through. Made a beautiful cake with Ella's help. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I hope you try this recipe. I'll probably put the cake recipe underneath the description. But anyway, happy Easter. And this is my Easter cake. And you have a great day or night. Bye.